Hey, welcome to Weed Stuff. I'm TR, and today I'm bringing you a different type of video. I decided it's probably going to be called something stupid like Beyond the Weed, but weed is still spelled O-U-I-D or something like that. Basically, it's going to be me talking to someone who knows more than I do about something. So this week, I'm really excited to bring you my friend Todd from my favorite head shop, who's going to tell us all the etiquette stuff that we need to know.
This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time and space.
All right, so I'm here with Todd. Todd, how's it going?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate having you on. A lot of people get nervous, like their first time when they go into a smoke shop or a head shop, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I feel like are the best guy from the local shop here to talk about, like, this is how you do it. It's not a big deal to talk someone through going into for the first time.
Oh goodness, no, not at all. It's actually pretty easy, honestly, to ask for what you want. Geez, and the amount of people we do get in where they say, "Hey, this is my first time here." It's a lot of people. So I'm really glad to be here to be helping out with this.
Yeah, and with the popularity spreading and with more states having certain things allowed for medical cases,
Right? Yeah.
there are more people who are getting into these things for the first time. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Right. Well, let's jump into it. If you want to.
So I have some notes here. According to this, the tablet is sleeping.
Oh well, that'll happen.
So first off, I wanted to talk terminology.
Right.
Because you can't go in and use the W word.
Nope, you really can't. One of the big things about smoke shops is that we genuinely cannot imply use of illegal substances, and unfortunately that does include marijuana. Until that is federally cleared, all our stuff that we have for sale is basically functional or artistic glass pieces.
Yeah. And some of them will say for tobacco use only. You'll see that in shops.
A lot of shops, and a lot of shops take that very seriously. We can lose our licensing pretty quick if the wrong person gets word of what we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
So that's more than even just a fine. That's straight up losing the business.
yes, exactly. And that's just from the business aspect. I mean, forget fines and legal stuff. I mean, we could just straight up lose the ability to just do business.
Yikes.
And that is the reason why so many shops really do get up in arms about the B word and the wheat and W word and all the other stuff. That's their livelihood on the line at the end of the day.
Yeah. So the alternative for the B word is water pipe.
Yes. Water
Easy.
pipe is such a generic term. It's just self-descriptive. Some other safe terms that we use in the smoke shop for describing products: flour, concentrates, disposable vapes. These all refer to the normal THC products that we're able to sell legally under the 2018 Farm Bill. Thank you, awesome. Some safe terms for glass, as you said, water pipe, very generic. We also sell spoons, chillums, steamrollers. All these terms are safe because they are describing what the product is itself rather than what it's going to be used for. And that is a very, very important distinction for us and how we are able to sell things.
Right. So like if I've got a bunch of dab and I want to buy a banger and a bong to go with it, and I don't know how to say it, what I would say is I have wax and I would like a water pipe to use with that.
Gotcha.
Would that be?
Yeah, exactly. And banger itself, also smoke shop safe term.
Right.
This again is describing the product itself. I don't know what you're going to be using that banger with when we go home, so we're cool.
Yeah. By the way, folks, don't try and return stuff you've used.
Yes, please don't try to bring stuff back you've used. Yeah, that just keeps everybody out of trouble, especially yourselves. Like, don't go driving around with that stuff in your car.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Even if it's recreational.
Yeah, even if it's recreational, depending upon your state, county, whatever, just exercise common sense. Don't smoke and drive, please.
I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway from this whole thing is don't be stupid.
Yes, that is the one thing when you do come into a smoke shop, do try to exercise some tact. Try to use these terms as much as possible. If you know for a fact you're going to be using an illegal substance with your new product, please don't tell us. Well, we're pretty smart. We can put two and two together. but don't directly just outright tell us that you're going to be going out and ripping your bong with a new whatever. I'm good. I'm good. We're cool.
Yeah. They know what you're using it for because they're not stupid.
Yeah,
And you're going to learn how to ask for it, and you're going to learn quickly because you're not stupid.
exactly.
So as far as, like, let's say that I know I have a cartridge,
Yes.
and that's all I know.
Yes.
So is literally cartridge fine?
Yes, because again, you are describing what that product is. It's a cartridge. I don't know what's in that cartridge.
Okay, so so you can't say like a THC cartridge.
Well, THC cartridge is fine as well because again, that 2018 Farm Bill does cover a lot of different THC products.
Okay, so as long as you don't get into which specific
Exactly.
type of THC. Okay.
Or even if you do know what kind of type of THC, if it's a legal variant that you know for a fact that's legal in your area, yeah, go ahead and mention it. It's fine. Especially if you know for a fact the shop sells it. On the other end of that spectrum, though, and this is part of using tact when shopping, if you know for a fact that what you're going to be using is, again, illegal, try and leave that out as much as possible.
Yeah. Don't brag about having drugs.
Yeah, which is very... I mean, it's cool on one hand, but on the other hand, like some of the stuff we get told in the shop is completely nuts. We do have a lot of people who straight up come in and tell us that, yes, I am using this for crystal. I am using this for crack cocaine. And wowzers, the fact that they're that upfront about it, it can be mind-blowing, but it's also been desensitizing over the last couple of years, too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people, some consumers genuinely know what they want, and they're going to go for it.
Yeah. That's crazy to me, though.
Yeah. Oh man, no. So one of the craziest ones I've ever heard is the guy who came in looking for a meth pipe of all things. Yay! Couldn't find it, but then proceeded to tell me that his particular meth producer, I don't even know what they call him,
Yeah.
would use Viagra and extends in the process of making their drugs, and it would have those side effects. So it's really great for his love life.
Oh, you didn't need to know
I didn't need to know
part
any of that.
You didn't need to know his name.
Well, thankfully I didn't know his name, and yes, well, I didn't need to know any of that. Now everyone else knows that, and I'm not sorry.
If he has to suffer, so do we.
Yeah, it is one of those situations where, hey, I got this terrible information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeesh. One of the things we're not going to talk about too much is like THCA and Delta 8, Delta 9. That's because it's different in every county. Like, I'm not saying every state, every county within a state is different. So unless there's been a statewide bill passed, you have no idea where you're going, if it's legal or not in that area. If it's available to purchase, I mean, it should be legal because otherwise they're going to get in trouble. So if you can buy it somewhere, use it there. That's pretty much what we're going to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all we have to say too in our shop is, we got legal product to sell. Everything that we're selling has been covered. So yeah, you don't really need to worry too much about what we're doing.
Yeah. Do be aware that some things can make you test positive in a P test.
Yes. Do keep in mind that even CBD will make you pop. They are looking for cannabinoids specifically. So yeah.
Yeah. So definitely be careful, be aware. And a lot of people don't realize this. If you have a state medical license, that doesn't mean that you can't get fired from your job. You still can because it's federally illegal. Okay, this one I like. How to handle the glass.
Okay. So how to safely handle glass. So this is, I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of a process, but the first step to ever handling any piece of glass in a smoke shop is to please ask the attendant if you can handle the glass first. Every shop has different policies on how they want their products handled. And the shop I work at is pretty cool about a lot of things. If you ask, we'll let you handle it. And that's just the starting point. Always ask first if you can handle the glass. If you are working with a sales associate, a lot of times, depending on their policy, they'll ask you if you want to handle the glass. And if they do, and if you do, please clearly indicate yes, that you are going to handle the glass. Like, just be like, yes, and please, or thank you, and whatever you want to say. Of course, whenever handling a piece of glass, use as firm a grip as you can with it. If it's a larger piece, use 2 hands, mind any attachments that are on it, bowls, attachments, whatever you got on there. And then let's see, what else?
Yeah, there are pieces, especially like water pipes, depending on the angle. If you're holding it wrong, that can fall out the bowl.
Yes.
And that can shatter on the ground very easily.
I've seen it happen multiple times where people, it just slips right out. It happens. Accidents do happen. If you're working with a showcase, like, a large display of glass, please don't reach into the showcase yourself.
Yeah, that's a big one because that's a lot to break all at once.
Right. Like, just let the associate, handle the glass as much as possible. If you are inspecting multiple pieces all at once, just handle one at a time. Don't try to double fist anything like that. I know you want to do a comparison and contrast. Use whatever countertops are available to do that sort of work. What else is a good thing?
Part of the big thing with that not reaching into the showcase, if an employee falls down and things break, liability insurance covers things.
Right.
If a customer comes in and does that, it's not the same.
Right, and that is basically the core of this whole thing. It's a lot, but that is the core of it. Is you are basically trading liabilities with the shop and yourself whenever you're handling a glass piece you haven't bought. If you really want the easiest way to shop for glass, let the sales associate handle the glass as much as possible for you.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel the weight. Make sure it feels good in your hand. Don't put your mouth on it.
Yes, that is also very important. Please don't put your mouth on it. In the shop I work at, we treat the glass as glass. We dust it, we clean it, we use normal glass cleaners on it. It is not a usable piece until it's out the door or whatever you're doing with it. So yeah, please wipe it down first before you take it out after you take it out of the building.
That's another good point, because even if they aren't using glass cleaner or something like that, it's going to be dusty. Like, chances are pretty good, depending where you live, it's going to smell like patchouli.
Yeah.
Your shop doesn't really have that patchouli smell.
No, we try very hard with the different kinds of like air fresheners and stuff. We go hard on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we talked a bit about like how to handle the glass pieces. What a lot of people don't know is how to tell a good piece from a bad piece.
Okay.
Do you have any advice?
Yes, I got a lot of really good advice on this. So good glass versus bad glass. First and foremost, it really depends upon what you actually need from your glass piece. If you're looking for sturdy glass, look for anything double blown. Avoid any kind of soft blown glass. If you're looking for glass with good airflow control, avoid any bowl and down stem setups. And cheap glass does have its uses as well. Like I mentioned earlier, soft glass. Yes, those guys will break on a decent impact, but the price points on them are pretty decent. They're great for people who are just starting out or just need a simpler rig, because with a simpler rig, fewer parts to replace.
That's true. And that's also a good tip for anyone who's traveling with tobacco and they lose their piece, they couldn't bring it with them, or you're flying or what have you. You get there and you want some tobacco.
Yeah.
And you just go in, and so like the what was it, slow blown?
Soft blown.
Soft blown.
Yes.
So the soft blown would be perfect for buying and then throwing away.
Pretty much, yeah. The price points we keep at my particular shop, we try to keep those as low as possible. We know that we have a lot of people who come in and just, frankly, they just need something for the day. So we've got a lot of, $15, $25 pieces that are not the greatest, but we'll get you through.
Yeah. And a lot of them still look cool.
Yes, and that's the nice thing, is that a lot of soft blown pieces can also be very artistic. We've got some beautiful pieces on the shelf that, yeah, if you drop them, they're dead. But until then, you've got something that's gorgeous.
Yeah. And a lot of the glass stuff, once you figure out like double blown is the way to go, and you can when you're holding it feel a sturdiness to certain types of pipes.
Exactly. Yes.
But I lost what I was going to say, so that was cool. No, I remembered. All
right, what's up?
That's not a side effect of anything. No, a lot of it comes down to personal taste.
Yes.
Because you'll find like Zong, just as an example, that's a brand.
That is a really good brand.
That is a very good brand. you'll find like, okay, I really like Zong because they're sturdy, which they are. Like the Chillums and the spoons are very sturdy.
Very triple blown glass on those guys, actually.
Triple blow.
Yeah, they are sturdy.
Nice. So I've had Zongs, I've dropped Zongs, they're fine. But once you know, okay, well, this type of pipe is what I want, you're probably going to see a big selection of them. Doesn't matter what you get. The bowl size is going to be different. Be aware of that. But other than that, does it look cool? Because this is something you're buying for yourself. So is it something that you want to put your mouth on?
Yeah.
My dog farted and it's kind of grossing me out. Okay, so we've talked about like good glass, bad glass, but there's also a lot of electronic stuff. That's mostly what I review.
Yes.
Do you have any brands in particular that you are just a big fan of for that type of thing?
For electronic stuff, right now I'm a big fan of the Yokan line, the Luca line. Really like a lot of the stuff Riot with some of their vaporizers as well.
And if you're going to buy from Riot, use my affiliate link.
I honestly can recommend Riot pretty easily, especially their Verb. That's one of the best dryer vaporizers I've seen on the market.
Yeah.
Especially with, just user friendliness.
And the fact that it has just the 3 buttons, temperature up, temperature down, and on.
Right? Like, that's part of the reason why I like it. You can't mess that up. That's part of the same reason why I like the Luca line and the Yokan line. Basically, I like any product that is basically user friendly and customer friendly, Yeah,
Luca, I like Luca a lot because they're reliable, they're well made, and usually there's whimsy involved now.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I love their Luca Dinosaur. That thing is adorable.
I kind of want to get one.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good feedback on them.
Okay, I might do that then.
Let's see.
Yokan doesn't have the whimsy, but especially for entry level stuff,
Yes.
It's, from my experience, the entry level stuff is made to just work.
And that is the thing I like about it, is that those products do just straight up work. They do what they're supposed to do. If something on them busts, there's also a pretty good chance you can find a replacement part for it too.
That's true, because these are 2 of the bigger companies, and then Riot would be number 3.
Yeah.
Because those 3 are bigger companies, they usually do sell replacement parts for things, especially if it's something that needs replacing anyway, coils.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times you'll be able to get them at a regular smoke shop because they're a universal piece for this type of Luca product.
Right. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, on some of our high-end stuff, I'm a huge fan of Volcanoes.
Stores and Bickle.
Stores and Bickle is a really great brand. I know they're expensive, but their products are genuinely worth it, especially the Volcano. Holy shit, I love that thing.
There's something I'm testing right now that I'm going to have you test.
Oh, right.
I'm going to have you check it out.
Okay.
It's from Stores and Bickle.
Nice. I'm excited then. Thank you.
Yeah. So, but a big name doesn't always mean it's going to be better.
Not always. I hate to bash on Puffco in any way, shape, or form because they've always been one of the big name guys, but their competition has honestly caught up with them in terms of quality. I have an easier time recommending a Carta over them, if only because Cartas are a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to get all parts, and honestly, at price points.
Yeah. I've been kind of avoiding talking about it, but I have noticed that with Puffco's more expensive stuff, the quality control from my friends
Is very wild.
it's sort of either it's like what Gibson Guitars was doing in the like mid 2000-ish range, like 2010s, where either it was the best thing ever or it's garbage.
Yes, I have noticed the same thing out of Puffco as well. There's a particular line of products out of them where I was genuinely, I just did not want to sell them because the failure rate on them was so high. And the complaints I was getting, I mean, I just got to a point where it's like, yo, don't look at this one, all right? I've got something that's way better over here on my other shelf.
Yeah. And I have heard that about, not from you, from someone else, about people coming back because it didn't work out of the box.
Yeah, that has happened to me more than more than once.
I got a text.
And And what has become even more frustrating is that their customer service has also slipped a little bit as well. I hear that they are becoming even more difficult to work with on returns on their own products.
Wow.
Yeah, some shops, my shop in particular, I'm not sure if it's the same at other shops, but we don't have a return policy on Puffco anymore. We've been informed that Puffco would like to deal with their customers directly.
Wow.
Yeah, but some of the rules for that is that the product has to be sold completely unopened. They need to have that receipt. And honestly, I've started telling customers, like, hey, when you get this at home, take a picture of it before you open it up.
Yeah.
Just so you have all your bases covered, so that way Puffco was willing to work with you.
And it's a little crazy that with the prices that they're charging, that the quality control and the customer service would be the level that it is.
Yeah, and it's especially for such a big name brand that's been around for this long now. If any of you guys are watching, I hope you address this stuff soon. That would be really rad on everyone's end.
Yeah, because the thing is, like I said, when it's good, it's like,
great.
oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, early Puffcos that I used way back in the early 2000s, those were the devices to use. You got great results off of them.
Yeah. And like what, I can't remember what it's called now, the little pen thing for wax.
Oh God, yeah.
Plus?
Yes, the Puffco Plus.
Puffco
yes.
Plus. I stand by that.
Yeah,
that thing is cool. And it's got the little pick built into the lid, so you can just scoop directly into there with that. You don't need a separate tool.
Sword design, really clever. I like it.
But that's their entry level stuff, and the high end stuff is where the problems seem to be coming.
Exactly, and with Puffco, that you expect quality out of their high end stuff, and so it's kind of weird to see them drop the ball like that.
Yeah, and hopefully this is something that they'll address. But
I hope so too. I do not want to see them come off the market just because I've got better stuff on my shelf.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, this part of the conversation, this is an example of why it pays to get in good with people at your smoke shop. Like, if you're nice to them, they're more than happy to give you information like this.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when shopping with different products and stuff. I mean, this is stuff I'll tell you up front, honestly. Like the shop I work at, we try very hard to make sure that you're walking out with a smile rather than just a sale.
Yeah, and most shops that I know of, at least around here, do not do commission.
Right. Yeah. No, I do need to, like, really level that out. Yeah, I do not work for commission at all. I get paid like salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that not having commission is a better way for team building and that sort of thing on the, or on the seller side.
Oh yeah.
But for the buyer, it also means that you don't feel the pressure.
Right.
And speaking of like pressure, how long is too long for hanging out looking at stuff?
That is kind of a hard question to ask and answer.
I feel like a lot of it depends on you, like not you, but the person in there.
Right. It depends. I hate to say it, but it depends on how sketchy the situation is. We got some people who are obviously coming in off a job, or we got some people who are just literally coming in off the street. We'll be able to tell at a glance. It's a case-by-case situation, but honestly, 10, 15 minutes, and at that point, we'll start to feel a little weird about stuff.
Yeah.
If you're shopping around, that's one thing.
These aren't good places to go hang out.
Yeah, that is the one thing. Smoke shops they're places for adults and getting your stuff. At the end of the day, they're not a community center. I hate to say it.
Yeah. As fun as all the stuff in there is, and as cool as the employees are, like, and as stoked as you are to get home and use this stuff, like, it's still a business.
Yeah. And that 10 to 15 minutes, like I said, that is case by case situation.
Sure.
Everyone's got their favorite customers. Everyone's got their customers that are pretty wild.
Yeah. And I mean, if you have questions, ask.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to phrase something, say, I'm scared of saying the wrong thing. Right. And then slowly get into it.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a really good jumping point for how to ask for something So if you don't know how to ask for something in a shop, and that it's like your first time, you're looking for something specific, you just don't know what it's called. As always, of course, exercise tact, but describe what it looks like, what it's used for, colors, anything you can to describe it. And a good smoke shop employee should be able to piece together what it is you're looking for. Or if you got a specific issue you're trying to solve, like pain management, or you're just looking to have a good time. Again, a good smoke shop employee should be able to help you out with that, no problem.
So, I mean, again, like you said, use tact. I'm looking to get blasted tonight on some sticky icky. Don't be stupid.
Don't be silly about it. I mean, if you really want to have that level of enthusiasm, just drop that sticky icky part. We're A-okay. Because, we got some stuff that, yes, will get you blasted.
Don't drive when you're on it.
Don't drive on your own.
You'll still get in a lot of trouble.
Right. Oh, God, pet peeves. I had to narrow this list down to just backpacks because they're so... I can get into real pet peeves, but I don't want to dive in on bashing our customers because our customers are actually really cool.
Yeah.
We a very small percentage of them are weird dickheads. A lot of them are honestly just genuinely shopping. At the end of the day, they're shopping.
Yeah.
And that's normal. That is perfectly normal.
Yeah. And I try to be as non-demanding as possible because I always take so long to find anything.
I mean, so you were asking earlier about the how long can you really linger thing, and I say it's a case-by-case situation. If you are obviously shopping, actually looking at our products, no shit, we're not going to bother you.
Yeah.
Take your time, shop around. You're looking for something specific, and you just want to look around, go nuts. Yes, more than likely, you're probably going to be approached by every associate in the store asking for help. Don't take that as a hint to get out. A lot of times, we're just bored AF. We're just looking for something to do, and we see a dude shopping. That's something to do.
Yeah. And that's better than some of the mindless, repetitive retail work.
Right. Honestly, some of my best experiences working in the shop is just working with my customers one-on-one.
Yeah. And I've had, especially at your shop, I've had really good experiences just walking in and saying what's awesome.
Right. And honestly, I cannot express how much that actually really does brighten a lot of people's days.
Thanks.
Yeah, we like getting positive feedback from our customer. People, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to know that we're doing good.
Yeah. And one of the things is that I know your shop enjoys is the reviews that I give of products that I've used.
That has been incredibly helpful for us because it does help us narrow down what products to keep on the shelf, what products to kind of phase out as we keep going along. A big part of this business is trying to keep up with new stuff.
Yeah. And there's always new stuff coming out.
Always new stuff coming out. Being the management part of this sort of thing, I get to take a look at all these catalogs and there's new shit coming out pretty much every other month nowadays.
Yeah. And from companies you've never heard of that could be making the cool, because I maintain the best glass blunt ever made that I'm aware of is the Bluntski.
Right. And
which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And trust me, we have looked for it. We have been trying to find it. They're impossible to find right now.
I think the company's out. I messaged them on Facebook.
Are they? Do you think so?
They didn't. They never responded.
Shit.
I think Bluntski is.
That explains why we can't find any. Not even in our larger warehouse order places.
Yeah.
They're just not sitting around, and that happens to a lot of brands. God, what is it? Prototype? No, not Prototype. They're still going strong.
Yeah, Prototypes are right.
Incredible. They're a really fun steamroller device.
Yeah.
That one out of production now.
Really?
Yeah. So if you find one of those sitting around for a reasonable price, pick it up. That's a rarity.
Yeah. And that's also one of the things I like about your shop is because it's a bigger shop, you'll have stuff that it hasn't sold, but the company's gone.
Yeah, and that really does just has to do with the base business philosophy that the owner goes under is that it's smart just to have a little bit of everything that everyone wants. We do try really hard to have a little bit of everything under there. I mean, that's how I learned about the solo pipe. That's how I learned about the Genius pipe. A lot of really kind of fun stuff like that. The prototype. I actually looked up a YouTube video on the prototype. That one was fun.
Yeah. Dude, the prototype, That's a classic for when you're just carrying and you need some with you.
It is a classic, and we've gotten both the classic version and knockoff generics, and I'm not gonna lie, go for the classic version. The knockoff generic is fine in an emergency pinch, whatever, if you really want it that badly. But
The metal isn't as good, and it'll bend on the piece that twists in that holds the tobacco.
exactly, and honestly, a lot of the generics just don't come with all the right features and parts.
Okay.
You go with the original if you can find an original.
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to be sort of wrapping up here, but I was wondering what stuff that are pet peeves, like what should we not do?
Pet peeves. This is gonna sound retail bitchy, but backpacks, honestly, backpacks, yeah.
The amount of glass, one wrong turn.
One wrong turn, and honestly, it's also an empty theft thing as well. And the worst part is it's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 times it really is. You're carrying your stuff, and we get it. We totally understand. But still, the problem is because of that 1 out of 10, we always have to put somebody on someone.
Yeah.
So if you got a backpack, leave it in your car. If you don't have a car, grab a sales attendant and just ask them to keep it behind the shelf for you.
Yeah, that's actually what I've done in the past when I had a backpack when I was walking somewhere. Is I go straight up to the first employee and go, is it okay if I leave this behind the counter?
Yeah.
I have nowhere to put it.
Depending on the shop you're going to, I know the policy at our shop is we're more than happy to watch that for you. Like, please, yeah, we're cool with that. And then shop away. You just took a major amount of relief off, anxiety off of us. So thank you.
Yeah. So are there any other big pet peeves?
Big pet peeves? No, not really. There are a big list of no-nos, though.
Okay. Why don't we get into some of those?
All right, so some really big no-nos. Please don't come in and ask for a bong. Just outright.
The way I remember not to use the B word is I say it weird. I say water pipe.
Yeah.
I always say it that way.
Right, and that always cracks me up, by the way.
Yeah, but that way I don't mess up and say the wrong thing, get my ass kicked out.
Yeah. Some other big no-nos. If you want to get smoke shop employee attendant eyes on you as fast as humanly possible, ditch that backpack and pull out your phone and start videotaping everything. Video photography is a huge no-no in a lot of shops. And this is not we think you're a cop thing. We automatically assume you're one of our competitors.
Yep.
Yep. This is a cutthroat business at the end of the day. A lot of people get into this business every year, so we get people in who just want to check out what we're doing, and I'm sorry, we're a little too competitive for that.
Yeah.
So if you want to take pictures of individual projects, that's a-okay. Just make sure you ask first. We got no problems if you want to take a picture of like an individual project, water pipe you found, that's fine. Just no videotapes, no panographic pictures of any kind that will get eyes on you the fastest way possible.
Yeah. And I mean, also, like, it's just a little weird to do that. Like, don't go into a business and start videotaping. Like, if there's something really cool on the shelf,
yeah,
you want to get a picture, like you were saying, that's a different story. Yeah. But like, don't start filming.
Yeah, like that
heavy breathing and staring.
That makes everyone really very, very nervous.
Yeah.
And then the biggest no-no is please don't bring illegal substances into the store. I cannot tell you the amount of times where I've had someone bring in, flour that I'm not sure where it's from, and I've been asked to identify it. First and foremost, no, I can't do that, not without smoking it and finding out myself. Two, if I don't know where this is from, I'm going to assume you got this from a place that's not us, possibly illegal. Please get that out of the store as fast as humanly possible. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Don't bring stuff in with you.
Don't bring that. Don't bring in used pieces either, because again, I do not know what you used in that. If you do have like a busted up piece that you are trying to find parts for, take pictures. Take lots of pictures. That helps us out. But do not bring in that used piece itself.
One thing that you mentioned to me earlier that I thought is worth mentioning. Don't become obsessed.
Oh my God, yeah.
it's hard to get into this, but there are some people who, because it's such a fun place and the employees are there helping you out, I'm guessing something about that just makes them really drawn to the employees,
Right.
in a not healthy way.
Personally, I've never really seen it happen in our shop before. We've never really had to deal with outright stalkers. But yeah, it can happen at times where we do get some customers where they just want to chill. And
It's a business.
it's a business. At the end of the day, we are a business. And as much as we would love to hang out and talk, we got to work.
Yeah, he's literally getting paid to do work.
Mm-hmm.
He can't risk his job to just bullshit with you.
Right. And trust me, I've got people come in every day where, like, yeah, I would love to hang out for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just shooting the shit. But I still got products to put on the shelf. I've still got inventory to go through. I personally am in management, so I've got a lot of things I actually have to deal with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So when I am taking the time to stop and talk with a customer, that is my small joy of the day. That is me basically taking a break and just being like enjoying having you around.
Sure. So that brings me to something else that a different person from a different shop mentioned to me once.
Really?
Well, no, from the same shop, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to give out your shop. I don't want to give out too much info.
Appreciate it.
So, fellas, don't check out people. Don't ogle the employees. That shouldn't have to be said in any scenario, but this goes for in all of life.
Right.
Like, yes, you may look at a person. Don't do that. It's very easy to look at someone and then look away. Goes like this. See how I did that? I'll do it one more time. That was good.
Yeah, don't be a creeper. At the end of the day, don't be a creeper. It happens to everybody in the shop, honestly. We do get creeped on sometimes, and yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Actually, it's more than a little uncomfortable. It's one of the worst parts of the job. And this goes the same for any service industry. Just be chill. Just be cool.
If you're mad, chill in your car until you're not so mad.
Right.
Like, if you got something from them and it broke, they didn't break it. They didn't know it was going to break. Don't go in hot.
Right. We can handle you being upset. Just don't come in and yell at us.
Yeah, especially, you have to understand, they didn't make the product. They didn't order the product in most cases. The person mostly that you're dealing with is just the guy that's supposed to sell it.
Right. And trust me, we'll do our best to help you out as well. Like, that is part of the job, is to make sure that what you're doing is what you want to do. So if you got busted products and stuff, yeah, just come in and ask for help. We got you.
Heck yeah. Well, Todd, I appreciate you coming in and talking to me. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Ooh, I just noticed the Chainsaw Man hat.
Oh, thank you, big fan.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
That's a good show.
Yeah, no, I could honestly, I could go for hours. I could. No, honestly, support your local smoke shops. If you're in an area where recreational is coming up, make sure you go out and vote. Follow all laws when using, of course. You know, be safe about this stuff. You know, I would like you to keep coming back to our shops.
One thing I'll mention that he does not have anything to do with, he does not endorse. Be careful of the synthetic stuff.
Yes, do be careful of synthetic stuff. There's a reason why these bans have gone through in several different areas.
The synthetic stuff can be dangerous.
It can be. It really, really can be. Try to go for all natural products derived from hemp as much as humanly possible.
All right. Well, that's it for this, whatever I'm going to call it, Beyond the Weed or whatever. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, TR. Appreciate you, dude.
Heck yeah.